look at your Medium blog that you've been posting on consistently. And, one of the things is looking at the solar telescope, right? Or the SOAR telescope in Chile right now that's talking about, there's no evidence of cometary gases. So can we talk a little bit about that and then the recent
Yeah,
findings that have literally have come out this past day or two?
yeah, exactly. So there were several teams, by now maybe four, that tried to take a spectrum of this object, and they didn't find any spectral fingerprints of molecules that are often found in cometary tails. These are carbon-based molecules or oxygen atoms. And where are these atoms or molecules? We don't see them. And moreover, yesterday, the Hubble Space Telescope released, image was analyzed in a paper, detailed paper, and from that image, it looks like there is no tail. That was already apparent from previous images that the other telescopes took, but instead, what we see is that there is glow ahead of the object. That is unprecedented. We usually call comets because there is a cometary tail behind them, and that distinguishing feature is not there. It's just like identifying zebras by their stripes.
So 3-Eye Atlas is headed our way, and there is nothing we can do to stop it. We're all just sitting around counting down the days until the supposed alien invasion. And look, I say alien invasion, but the reality is Congress is having conversations about whatever this object is. And the scientists who warned us about this object in the beginning, they're now urging world leaders to come together and come up with some sort of plan just in case this is really a UFO or something like that, because a lot of experts believe that if this is an alien craft, that it will crash the stock markets. If it turns out that this is an alien craft and we all find out about it in November, or some even say October 29th, stock markets around the world will crash. That's what experts are warning. So they're telling world leaders to come up with a plan just in case this happens. Meanwhile, other scientists are saying, hey, it's just a comet. There's nothing to worry about. Those scientists, I don't know what they're talking about, but we think it's a comet, even though they admit that there are some unique traits to whatever this object is. Now, I want to be clear here. Since day one, I've been saying multiple times a video that I don't believe that we're really getting invaded by aliens. I'm not here to convince you that 3-Eye Atlas is not some sort of comet or something. I'm not here to convince you, okay? You all can believe what you want to believe. Like I've said from the beginning, I don't necessarily believe this stuff either. But that doesn't change the fact that they're pushing this story. So for me, the conversation isn't really about, oh, is this an alien ship or a comet? The conversation for me is, why are they pushing this story so hard? Why do they continue to push this story? Why did they automatically come out and say that, oh, it's a hostile alien threat, instead of just saying, oh, it may be a UFO? No, from the beginning, they kind of painted this narrative out to where, oh, this must be hostile aliens. It must be an invasion, an attack, or something along those lines. And I've just been watching all of this play out from the sidelines like a lot of you all, and I've just noticed a lot of weird things. You got J.D. Vance talking about UFOs. You got Tulsi Gabbard's recent comments. And ever since she started talking about the UFOs and stuff, now it feels like we've come full circle, and now people are having conversations about the drones from New Jersey. A while back, I reported on that story a lot. There were drones flying over New Jersey, or whatever those objects were. They were flying over other states as well, especially near military bases. We never really got a clear answer as to what that was, but it seems like the conversation is coming back to that thanks to Tulsi Gabbard. I'm wondering what she knows. I'm wondering if she's steering the conversation in this direction on purpose. I don't know. But we've had a lot of different things happening in the UFO world over the past few days. I mean, we got a ex-Pentagon scientist, right, that was working on all types of stuff at the Pentagon. He's come out saying that he knows of different alien races. I think he said the insectoids, the greys, the reptilians, and the Nordics. So he's out here name dropping alien species and stuff. Some dude that used to work at the Pentagon. That just happened a couple of days ago. I'll have to make a separate video about that. But yeah, right now we just got a lot of movement, a lot of updates, and they were recently discussing this on the news. So I want to go ahead and roll that clip for you really quickly, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
What does the government really know about aliens and UFOs? And what's the truth about all those drone sightings over New Jersey last year? Remember that? Well, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, just told the Pod Force One podcast that the truth may be out there. Take a look.
So do you believe that there could be aliens?
I honestly, like, my personal belief, I have my own views and opinions.
Right.
In this role, I got to be careful with what I share. I'm still going through and looking through what do we know and what is it that we don't know.
And the New Jersey, the strange objects over New Jersey were drones.
I still have a lot of questions around that.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard what the public official line is. I just personally still have a lot of questions that are unanswered.
I think we all have a lot of questions. Remember, in January, the White House said there was nothing nefarious about the New Jersey drone sighting. So here's the question. What's the truth? Well, we're going to ask former Pentagon UFO investigator Lou Elizondo to get to it. So, Lou, good to see you. What does Tulsi Gabbard know that we all don't know?
Well, I think it's important to note that Tulsi Gabbard is a very seasoned official. She cut her teeth as a combat veteran and also formerly a field grade officer. So she's not new to the world of intelligence. And I think what she's doing is exactly her due diligence. Before she makes a public statement, she wants to make sure she speaks to all of the 16 intelligence agencies, try to remove all the stovepipes as she can, and really get to the truth of the matter. The bottom line is, look, whenever you admit to the American public that we don't have complete aerodomain awareness of our skies, we don't know what's in our skies all the time, you're also tipping your hand to your adversaries that we have vulnerability. So it's really a catch-22. Tulsi is in a really difficult spot because on one hand, she does have these outstanding questions like the New Jersey drone issue. We now know there was not prosaic explanations for what occurred with every one of those quote unquote drone sightings. But at the same time, look, you've got 16 intelligence agencies that somehow it's like herding cats. You have to try to get all of them to report information to you. Yeah. And it's one heck of a bureaucracy. It really is.
You mentioned something about the danger of drones, and I hate to say this, another 9/11 style attack. I mean, can you explain to us how we prevent something like this? It's much different warfare than we've ever seen before.
Look, I'm really glad you're saying that. I think the American people would be shocked to learn that in modern warfare now, and you take the Ukraine, there have been more deaths attributed in combat to drones than artillery and infantry combined. Now think about that, right? So we are entering a completely new paradigm on how warfare is conducted. And it's really not much of a stretch to imagine some sort of foreign adversary or someone who wants to do harm to the United States or our national security, rather than using 737s, instead using much cheaper, much more affordable, and much easier to hide drones. They are already being used by drug cartels on our borders for surveillance and for smuggling drugs, and they're also being used right now in combat to kill other human beings. So I think that's a great question, and I think this is why our nation really needs a comprehensive strategy, and frankly, maybe even a national intelligence estimate done every year by the DNI, by Tulsi's people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. It's definitely a reality that we have to be talking about. Before I let you go, I got to ask you, you got former Pentagon scientist Eric Davis said there are 4 types of alien species. There are greys, Nordics, insectoids, and reptilians. I never thought I'd be saying that this morning. Should we be taking anything of this as credible?
I was a nuts and bolts guy. Unfortunately, I can't comment on biologics, but I was more of a nuts and bolts guy.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. The conversation for another day. Lou Elizondo, thanks so much. Good seeing you.
My honor and privilege. Thank you.
I don't know how to feel about Lou. And it's nothing personal. I have nothing against the guy. I don't know him personally. But I don't know. And it's not even just him. I just have a hard time trusting these whistleblowers that are coming forward. I just get a weird feeling about them. And usually I just go with my gut instinct. And that's inside, I have a weird feeling about most of these whistleblowers. So I'm just going to trust myself when it comes to that. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't believe some of the stuff that they say. I do think that they do reveal some truths. I just know that they're not allowed to, reveal everything. And, once you're working with these different agencies, you're always working with them, okay? So I think that they are out here, steering conversations in a certain direction, and I don't feel like they're actual whistleblowers. I think that they're, told to release this information for whatever reason. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I could be wrong. Like I said, nothing personal against him or any of these other UFO whistleblowers. I'm still grateful that people are coming forward and we get some information. I just don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? And I think that's a reasonable position considering everything we see going on with this kind of a topic. But yeah, I do find it interesting that we've come full circle. We started out with, the aliens are coming, they're going to be here in November. And now we're back to, what was really going on with those drones? Now, personally, I think all of this is connected. I think all of this stuff is connected. Why? I don't have the answers for you. But I think everything we're seeing with UFOs is connected. I think the drones, I think it's all connected. And to break it down to the most simplest way possible, I really think it's just part of a campaign to desensitize people, to get people ready for what's to come. People got used to seeing weird crafts and weird objects flying over their house in New Jersey, for months on end, to the point that it just became normal. It was normal to look up and see weird things hovering over your house. It just became normal. And it didn't take long for it to become just a part of everyday life for some of those people. And I mean, just as quickly as that story swept the nation, it went away. And you don't see anybody worried about it anymore, but we never got any real answers. So I think that a lot of the stuff that we're seeing right now, it's all leading up to something. And I just don't know when that something is going to happen. I can't exactly tell you what that something's going to be. But it's clear as day that there's a plan here. And it's like they're working with the script. You're seeing this slow buildup. And it always comes back to some type of hostile attack. As I was saying earlier in the video before I rolled that clip, when they introduced the information about 3I Atlas, this object hurtling towards us, this interstellar object, immediately the initial headlines were, this could be a hostile alien threat. They didn't introduce it like, this could just be a UFO, this could be this could be that. No, they automatically introduced it while putting the idea in our head like, this thing could attack us or what have you. And even with the drone conversation, isn't it crazy how we've come full circle all the way down to, drones could pull off the next 9/11. How did we get here? How did we get from, aliens are invading in November down to, remember those drones? Well, guess what? Those drones could pull off another 9/11. You never know what they could do. So it's like it all comes full circle to like they're preparing people to be attacked. Either by aliens or by drones or by something. That's the way I see it. They're like preparing you to be attacked. Or they're fear-mongering you. Oh my God, you're going to get attacked. You're going to get attacked because they want something out of you. And 9 times out of 10, when you see the government and you see the media coordinating to scare people, 9 times out of 10, what they want out of you is more of your rights and freedoms in exchange for their protection. So, yeah, I don't know. This news clip really threw me off because it got all the way down to think about the drones that are killing people in Ukraine. And yeah, that's true. But how did we get here? I don't know. I don't know how we got to that point in the conversation. But that's where we're at. Like I said, I think they're preparing us for something. Hoping for the best. But I'm preparing myself for the worst. You guys let me know what you think, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.